'Twas two nights before Christmas. A video blog by Kaylin Bastian. That's me. Thanks for joining me. I'm Kaylin and I help people be who they authentically are and be unlimited. Happy Christmas! This is a video blog for my Life Doesn't Suck series. And you could see this is my human family, my husband and my daughter, and we're having a good Christmas. And what's not included in the picture is our canine and cat family who live with us as well. So I want you to know that this video is meant to bring something up that has come up, and it may be challenging to your beliefs. Of course, the benefit of that is that if your belief is challenged and it bugs you or it inspires you, either way, you are likely to shift your perception and begin to see things differently. When you see things differently, you always treat them differently, which tends to lead to a whole new different kind of experience, which is a good thing. So this is Lucy, and it's two nights before we are likely to take her in to the vet to be put down. And the thing is, we have had Lucy, I think, for about 2.5, 3.5 years. We adopted her when our daughter wanted a Chihuahua, and at the time we went to a animal shelter adoption, and she was one of two Chihuahuas, and the other was a little boy Chihuahua, and my daughter wanted a female, so we adopted Lucy. She knew her name right away. It was like love at first sight. The thing is, though, Lucy is unfortunately, she was back there not young, and when we took her to the vet for a checkup, the vet actually took 6 teeth out. He couldn't quite tell her age either, but unfortunately, she really seems to have been older than we thought she might be. And so now that it's been a couple of years, she's really aging, and at this point, she's actually in a lot of pain. Something's wrong internally with one of her legs, and I don't know if you can kind of tell, but her eyes are having a lot of issues. Apparently, it might be a breed thing that Chihuahuas can get really dry eyes, and short of a tear duct surgery or something like that, it's inevitable she's going to go blind, and her eyes don't look that great, and you could see they're kind of heavy, and she's just in pain, and she's not doing well, and that's why we're thinking about putting her down. However, I was talking with a friend who was being very polite, but obviously a little thrown with the fact that we were thinking about putting her down. Our friend's going, she looks fine to me. And we had another friend who, a couple of friends who've had aging animals, and they let them sort of take a natural decline and then either put them down at the very end or don't, let them go all the way. And here's the thing. It just really depends on what you believe. Because if you believe that it's wrong to put a dog down or a cat, well, that's belief, and that's what I'm going to challenge right now, because in doing that, nature doesn't do that. Nature doesn't prolong the pain in that way, in the sense that in nature, where we live, a coyote would have already gotten her, and it would have been clearly a fearful, traumatic, and painful experience, but a very quick one. Instead, her decline has been going on for a little while, but it hasn't been significant. And now she's starting to wail in pain for no reason. In other words, no one touches her or anything, and all of a sudden she's crying and just wailing. And so at that point, she's really, it's becoming a longer, prolonged, painful experience. And like I said, nature would have already taken care of her. She'd already be back in dog consciousness. And we don't think it's right to prolong the pain. We feel like it's more compassionate to let her go back to the world of energy and move on and not have prolonged discomfort and pain. Yes, we love her, and yes, It's like we understand the dogs want to be with their pack and that kind of thing, but there's just no reason to have the pain, to have such an uncomfortable experience. So you can ask yourself how you see it and what you think about this. You can ask yourself why you feel the way you feel. If it bothers you, if it makes you feel like it's just not convenient for us or something like that, you could be aware that that's an assumption, that there's some judgments going on, and that in our own perception, the most compassionate and loving thing to do is actually not to have her suffer. We've had great times with her. If we hadn't adopted her, it's possible she wouldn't have been adopted, and maybe she would have. But in other words, we've given her more life because she clearly had been in some other home. And, we don't know what happened, of course, because you know how dogs are. They come to the shelter without a resume or any information, any records. So, we just don't know anything about her, but we do know that we've given her a few more years of a loving family, a wonderful home. I don't know if you can tell, she's not the thinnest dog you ever saw, so she has enjoyed some parts of life. So, it's all good. And when we can put our judgments aside, we can often really start to free ourselves, because at that point we allow ourselves to see things differently. We allow ourselves to see things more as they truly are, and we allow ourselves to see the beauty in who and what, or the actual experience, to see it anew. This picture was just recently taken. We were on a cruise, and at St. Thomas there was a butterfly garden. I didn't really think you could hold butterflies. I thought they had to sort of land on you. You had to get lucky. But they showed us how to pick them up without hurting them. And it was just a wonderful experience to hold a butterfly. And it changed, I changed my mind about how you can pick up butterflies when you know how to do it without damaging their wings. So it's so important to free yourself. It puts you in the flow. It allows you to be more compassionate instead of coming from a limiting belief. It allows you to be more clear instead of coming from a judgment. And the more you can choose to open, allow, free yourself, not see things as you used to see things, but come to them with an open mind, the more you actually increase the flow of energy running through you in your life, which means you're more in the flow and you allow far more room for the things that you prefer. Thanks for joining me in my video blog. Again, this is Kaylin. You can learn more about the Golden Flow System and getting in the flow at golden-flow-system.com, or you can learn about the wisdom of the Oracle, which I channel at oraclelight.com. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day.